everybody? Welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to review No Hard Feelings, starring the great Jennifer Lawrence. Now, this movie is a very weird movie for me, because I saw the trailer for this for quite some time, and I figured I would check this movie out. Every once in a while, I'll watch a movie, like a movie that's not considered, like not a huge movie. I'll just watch a movie out of curiosity. I know you guys probably know what I mean. When you see a trailer for a movie and you're like, I'm kind of interested, like that looks interesting, I want to go see that. There's a movie coming out not too long ago about that's like Dracula on a fucking boat, on a boat that it looks great, and like the last voyage of those, I can't remember the name of it, but I want to go see that because that looked interesting. So every once in a while I'll see a trailer for a movie or I'll see something and I'm like, you know what, I want to go check that out. And No Hard Feelings was definitely one of them. First of all, Jennifer Lawrence is really known as a serious actress. You know, Silver Linings Playbook, The Hunger Games, things of that nature. Like those are like the movies, you know, you think of her, The Hustler. Like she's typically playing a very serious character. Don't get me wrong, she's been more comedic, you know, even in the X-Men movies, you know, at least Days of Future Past anyway. At least Days of Future Past and First Class anyway, she was good in, but she was more of a serious character. Just a serious actress. There's a lot of actors like that, and a lot of actors in Hollywood do serious things, and I always wonder what they would be like in a comedy. If I always wanted to see Denzel or Leo like lend their hand, like give a legit straight comedy a try, because I'm just curious about if they got the chops to pull it off, because they're such great actors. You imagine they would, but you don't know. So Jennifer Lawrence is like, this is pretty much her comedic debut, like her comedic debut. And this movie is kind of misleading, because if you watch the trailer, it's really setting itself up to be this over the top comedy, which at points it is an over the top comedy. A lot of points, particularly at the beginning of the movie. The first 30 minutes of the movie is kind of, for the most part, an over the top comedy. But what you don't know is, what you don't see and what they don't promote is that this is more of a dramedy, really. I think they even describe it as, I don't know if it's even considered a straight comedy or a straight drama. I don't see the thing, but I would call it a dramedy. And dramedies are big. Everybody, you know, obviously one of the, you know, The Big Sick and things of that nature, you know, where it's a comedy, but there's this real dramatic heft to it. There's an actual dramatic heft to it that's inside of this comedy that is subtle, and it's there. And that's the type of movie this is. This is the type of movie where you're laughing, but inside of tragedy and comedy if you know your theater faces, you know the faces, tragedy and comedy. And often they play well together in movies, really. That's why a lot of the best comedies and a lot of the best dramas are comedies, because they play together so well. And this is another one of those movies that does that pretty well, where every laugh, even though it's funny, behind it is a twinge to different degrees of something real and something that's kind of sad and understandably so, but it's something real. I don't want to spoil it for you, but the movie, you know, the movie is about this character, Jennifer Lawrence's character Maddie, and I never heard of this actor, Andrew Feldman. I've never heard of this actress, but he plays Percy, and they're the two lead characters. And Maddie is going through it, like, you know, she needs to make enough money to pay off her property tax, but they took her car, so now she doesn't have a car because she's an Uber driver. She's trying to pay off this property tax. And Percy is a super introvert. He has a hard time in social environments. He has a hard time in doing social things in general, and he's about to go off to Princeton. So there's this crazy thing where his parents put out an ad that say, date our son and help our son get out of his shell, and we'll give you a car for free. And you see what's gonna happen coming a mile away, but it's not like, so that's kind of a rom-com aspect of it. You know, girl is in it for usually it's with the male. The girl or man is in doing this thing for the wrong reason. Along the way, they actually catch real feelings. You've seen it a billion times. But the thing that makes this movie work is, first of all, Jennifer Lawrence and the actor playing Percy have amazing chemistry together. Even though they play it straight, like Jennifer Lawrence plays a 32-year-old. Yeah, I think Jennifer Lawrence is a little older than that. I think she's like 38, something like that. I can't remember. I know Jennifer Lawrence is, I think she's older than 32. But either way, she's playing a 32-year-old and Percy's 19. So, and they play it straight like that. They really do. They don't try to bullshit you. They don't try to like make it, and you kind of feel weird about it. And I never thought about it that way, because like in my brain, in most guys' brains, like no one really thinks about an older woman and a younger dude. Like those thoughts don't really, we only get kind of weird when it's like a younger girl that's an older dude. But like, so throughout the entire course of the movie, I'm like, well, nothing's gonna really happen between the two, because she's, you know, 12 years older than him. And I'm like, in my brain, I'm just like, nothing's gonna really happen. But what ends up happening is, it actually ends up working out. But really the story is about two people who let their past define them, who let tragedies / difficulties in their past stunt their growth and stunt them and like weigh them down like anchors. And in Maddie's case, she's stuck in this town, and she's using the excuse that she's here for her mom. She's here for her mom's house, to take care of her mom's house, and she's happy. But she isn't. She's just afraid to move on. And in Percy's case, not too dissimilar, stuff happened to him in his past that's made him afraid to move on. That's made him afraid to open up. That made him afraid to go out and do stuff. So they're both people who let their past kill their future, basically. And through meeting each other, they overcome. Because sometimes, and I love the messages in the movie too, sometimes like you really don't know how bad your situation is. Like we all have our own hangups. I understood. And like maybe the movie touched me a little bit, because I know what it's like for something to happen and it just really stunts you. For a very long time, I was afraid to drive a car. For a very long time. Something happened to me, I was afraid to drive a car. And I mean, I drive now, but for a good long while, I was scared to drive a car. And I had no real reason. I'd make up excuses. I'd make up all kinds of shit. But I was afraid to drive this car. So I already sort of related to these two characters and the mental, the mental leap that they had to really make to get over this past shit, and by meeting each other. And Maddie's case, she's sleeping with multiple dudes, and every time a dude says they love him, or every time a dude tries to show interest, she doesn't want to talk to them anymore, because she doesn't want to get invested. And she doesn't want to get invested in anything. And it's a very interesting depiction. Also, there's a really crazy scene with Jennifer Lawrence at the beginning that will catch you off guard. I will not forget this shit. It happened early on. It's a skinny dipping scene. And something goes down, and it was unexpected, and the entire crowd, it was not a lot of people in there who were watching it with me. It was like maybe 4 or 5 people, but everybody was like, whoa! Even I was like, whoa! But it was something kind of raw about it at the same time. It was something a little raw about it, like, yeah, like, that's how that shit would go down, ain't it? You ain't got time, like, what the fuck, she ain't got time, like, he's throwing hands, fuck that shit. And it's like, okay, it was very unexpected. But overall, it's not as funny as I thought it was gonna be, but the drama and these two characters' arcs and these two characters' relationship, the Percy and her, there are some funny side characters in this though who have really good lines, but the drama, the way they played it, I believed in the arc, I believed in the two's relationship, I believed that they overcame it. So I would give No Hard Feelings a solid 8 out of 10. I had a good time with this movie. It's a really good dramedy. It's really a dramedy. But up top, the first 25 minutes are kind of raunchy. But once you get past that, you start to get to the meat of it, to the realness of it, to the, why they act the way they act. Like, they don't just act the way they act because they want to act that way. There's a reason behind why they act the way they act. And by the time the movie wrapped up, you're like, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta meet, sometimes you gotta meet somebody who's going through the same shit you're going through, because you can see them going through it, and at a certain point you gotta reflect on yourself and be like, I'm doing the same shit. And then he, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta meet somebody who is literally going through the same thing you're going through. You know, it's just star-crossed paths. You know, meet somebody who's going through what you're going through, and they help you. You help each other move past it. And that was wonderful. That was a wonderful thing about the movie. Like I said, don't want to spoil anything because I really do think it's a really good movie. But yeah, you guys check out No Hard Feelings, starring Jennifer Lawrence. It's a dramedy, so if you're thinking you're gonna get, like, it's not gonna be just pure, it's not gonna be pure laughs, even though there are some funny bits. But it's really mostly a drama. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Card Game Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.